Hi and welcome to the final episode of 2021, the guest list with me, your host, Steve Guest. And what a roller coaster of a year. Looking back in terms of this podcast, as I say, I entered 2021 not even knowing I was going to put a podcast out there. And I think the more the questions came through, the more the requests, the more the, I suppose, responses that were required, the greater the need to create something which has obviously turned into the Guestlist podcast. And I'm eternally grateful to every single person that has downloaded, listened to, commented, offered feedback, suggested guests and topics of discussion. Because without that, obviously the podcast wouldn't exist. And it's important to make sure that people move through the journey with you. A couple of people I'd like to do a shout out for their help and guidance this year. First and foremost, Mr. Pete Morgan of MonkeyPants Productions, who is the person that really puts all these podcasts together and makes sure that you can hear them properly, the sound quality is good, and the production is all uploaded and proper. So huge thank you to Pete Morgan and Phil Walker, who provides the social media backup elements to the podcast. I'm eternally grateful to you two because you make everything work. You are central to making sure each episode goes out each week. So huge thank you. And as I say, a massive thank you to the network and everyone that helps support this podcast and enables it to go out every week. I am truly grateful. A few stats just to share with you since the podcast launched. First initial launch date was the last week of March, 29th of March of this year. We opened with 3 episodes. First 3 was Greg Savage, James Osborne and Michaela Wain. If you haven't listened to those episodes, then certainly go back and find them. They are the most listened to episodes of the 40 episodes that have now been done. So they're certainly well worth a listen. Some numbers: 40 episodes now released, 5,276 unique downloads as of today, across 34 countries and over 27 platforms. There's some big numbers in there, and I think embarking on the journey initially, I had no expectation really. I didn't know what I was aiming for, or what was good, or what the targets or levels of achievement were going to be. So I'm really humbled by those numbers because it's been a journey for me, and I believe you as the listener. There's so much planned for 2022, and there's so many areas of improvement for the podcast and where I'm looking to take it. So please keep sending in your comments and your feedback. Obviously, this podcast goes across multiple platforms initially, the likes of Apple, Spotify, and the video interviews go straight onto YouTube. So if you're not tracking it across those 3, then please make sure you do. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the episodes. I think the general content for this final episode really is, I suppose, more along the lines of gratitude. It's great to take some time out over Christmas and towards the back end of the year and really be thankful for the people around you, the people that have supported you, certainly over the last few years where it's certainly been more troubled than previous years. And I think my message, I suppose, for the final podcast is to really enjoy Christmas as much as you can. Spend time with family and friends and really be in the moment. I'm a firm believer that certainly over Christmas it's time to put the laptops away, put the iPads away, put the phones down, and really just be in the moment and be aware of it. Be aware that you've got to be in the moment and really enjoy spending some downtime with your family and friends. Take a hard-earned rest. We all, I think, deserve a rest because we've all perhaps worked longer hours, pushed through times where it's been really tough and had to deal with quite an emotional time over the last year or so. And I think it's important to have that real kind of downtime, reset, recharge, get yourself ready for a really exciting 2022 and really push on to make sure that you push your personal growth out there, and look at all the elements that you live with that we've covered in previous episodes to really kind of make sure 2022 is a fantastic year for you and the people around you. I've really enjoyed this year. There's lots of positives, lots of things that have gone well. As I say, I mean, this podcast can be as big as people want it to be, really. And I think without you, it wouldn't have gone anywhere. So keep tagging people in, keep suggesting guests for next year. If you've got things that you think I should be doing, or I do that you don't enjoy or wouldn't like to see, then just let me know, because I say all feedback is good. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. I look forward to seeing you back in the new year. First episode that will go live will be Friday, the 7th of January. I hope you have an awesome time, and I look forward to spending some time with you in 2022.